New on Curiosity Stream.
From time to time, we have collisions between asteroids and the Earth.
We track them, we study them, we hope the big one never comes. Don't look up, it's Asteroid Rush. And alligators. They rarely get sick. They even outlasted the dinosaurs. Could they hold the secret to human longevity?
Their blood could have antibacterial applications.
Wade into the investigation on immortal alligators. Watch now on Curiosity Stream. Annual plans are $20, just $1.67 a month. Visit curiositystream.com.
What's up? It's your boy, the Ted Smith. Thanks for listening to the Men's Room Daily Podcast. Want more? Check out the greatest podcast in all the land, The Podcast. Be sure to subscribe and listen to a brand new episode every Tuesday night.
Unfortunately, what you're about to hear is real. The members of this radio program are simply not that bright, or what some people would call educated. They are merely stupid. They're not trying to offend anyone on purpose. And all have played doctors on TV. You have been warned and are cordially invited to join the party. This is the Men's Room.
Forget it, man, and get with the countdown. Get with the countdown. Shake this square world and blast off for Kicksville. The trippers, the grasshoppers, the hip ones, all gathered in secrecy and flying high as a kite.
This is the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill. You know what they say, shake your radio more than 3 times, and you're playing with it. You're listening to the Men's Room.
And away we go. Welcome to season 17, episode number 3656. Along with Steve the Thrill Hill, the Ted Smith, and Mike Hawk. Montgomery! And you are the Men's Room. On tap today, we have some sad news. One of our favorite guests of all time passed away today, so we'll go back in time with the late Gilbert Gottfried. We will play Profile This. Plus headlines, the Men's Room shot of the day, fun listener emails, and everyone's favorite TV Time with Ted. Clack. Here we go to West Virginia, where a woman tells cops she sells meth because she cannot get a job. Meanwhile, a man has hot coffee spilled in his lap and says it burned his berries and his knob. Florida man fakes being a DEA agent so he can get a discount at Wendy's down the street. Florida man says Putin made him do it when he was pulled over for speeding by the heat. And a Canadian man tells a judge he did not know it was illegal to sell Percocet. That is all coming on today's very special episode of The Men's Room.
And now, here's the question.
Hola, bitches. Good day to you and yours. All right, Impossible Foods, as in the company, they exploded onto the culinary scene with their Impossible Burgers. Well, now they have Impossible Chicken Nuggets, Impossible Sausage, and Impossible Meatballs. And in case you didn't know, Impossible Foods, they make plant-based fake meat. Well, now there's Primeval Foods. Now, the folks at Primeval Foods, they're offering lion burgers, tiger nuggets, and just in time for Easter, and I'm not making this up, giraffe ham. Seriously. Now, before you get all worked up about it, know that no lions, tigers, or giraffes are actually involved in the burgers, nuggets, or hams. No, this meat is grown in a lab. And it may sound weird, but keep in mind, weird food is all a matter of perspective. We have a list of 25 foods that we eat here in the U.S. that the rest of the world finds strange, including Spam, spray cheese, tater tot casserole, and the McRib. And we'll share the full list in a little bit, but we also have a list of the 20 most expensive foods in the world, which includes things like donkey cheese, turd coffee, and bird spit.
Donkey cheese.
They give them different names, but make no mistake, it's donkey cheese, turd coffee, and bird spit. But as they say, don't knock it till you try it. However, that said, I think we're going to knock a lot of stuff that we have not tried today, because today's question is very simple. What is the most exotic or trashiest food that you eat or have eaten?
Be a part of the big show. Call 206-421-ROCK. Like the Men's Room on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Men's Room Live. And send your emails to the Men's Room at KISW.com.
The debauchery rolls on. You're listening to the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill. 99.9 KISW.
All the fellas, and away we go. Welcome to season 17, episode number 3656. What a large and in charge program we have for you today. Guaranteed future repeat, that is a fact. Now, as you know, on Tuesday, normally we'll bring in Ryan Castle from his basement dungeon studio bar, and we sit and spin. And we have a sit and spin on tap for today, and then we got some sad news this afternoon as Gilbert Gottfried passed away at the age of 67 years old. Gilbert, I believe, was on our show a couple different times, if I'm not mistaken, over the years.
Twice, at least.
Yeah, the 17 years we've been here in Seattle. One of those guys that is just, when he comes into the room, Gilbert owns the room.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody else does. And you just sit back and you laugh because that's what Gilbert Gottfried did for a living. And statement from his family: we're heartbroken to announce the passing of our beloved Gilbert Gottfried after a long illness. In addition to being the most iconic voice in comedy, Gilbert was a wonderful husband, brother, friend, and father to his 2 young children. Although today is a sad day for all of us, please keep laughing as loud as possible in Gilbert's honor. That from the Gottfried family. Now, if I'm not mistaken, we go back a few years on this one, 5 or 6 different years. It's 5 years, something like that?
No,
Yeah.
15.
15 years.
Wow.
15 years.
2015. It was
2015. Okay, I was like, God, it wasn't that long ago. But Gilbert,
He wouldn't have come on the show 15 years ago.
yeah. A lot of the times you're in the middle of a segment, and depending on the situation, typically the way things go, when you have a guest on, you try to initially just introduce yourself during a commercial break.
Sure.
You sit down and you say, hey, my name's Miles, Steve, this is Ted, this is Mike. We're all, you can sit here. Would you like anything to drink? Is there anything you would like to talk about? You just kind of cover some bases real quick, and then you sit down and you do the interview. Now, there have been a handful of times, depending on who the person is, they just walk right in the studio.
Right.
We're in the middle of a segment. Ozzy just walks in and sits down, and we're like, I couldn't even think for a minute.
Right, because the twins Ozzy Osbourne.
I'm just looking over there like, oh my God, Ozzy Osbourne sitting like 3 feet away from me. And I couldn't even remember what the hell we were talking about. Well, Gilbert basically, he just walked in the studio and did the same thing.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, immediately. Grabbed the
He
mic.
just walked in. We were in the middle of a conversation. Mike, what did you say? I know you listened to the audio. We were talking about...
Honestly, it was toilet paper alternatives.
Okay.
That's what we were talking about.
Yes,
All
exactly.
right.
Like the audio starts with Thrill talking, just making his statements, reading text messages, what he do, and then out of nowhere, Gilbert just starts.
Gilbert just
poking
sits
up.
down, and then he is in.
Right.
We haven't even said hello.
Nothing.
We haven't offered him anything to drink. He does not know our names. He does not know any of us. He just knows he's got a comedy show, I believe, in Bellevue at Parlor, which I went and saw that night with Hair Club, and he did 2 shows. We were there for the early show. And Gilbert Gottfried's one of those guys. I mean, from the moment that he got on stage, your face hurt when you left.
Right.
It was almost like there's only been a few times in my life where I left someplace and my face hurt after seeing stand-up. And you know the guys that kind of do that for you. But in my mind, Steel Panther did that for me last time I saw them.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
They're one of those bands you're laughing all night, you're rocking out and everything else. Gilbert's just straight comedy. And I mean, the jokes don't stop. I mean, they are machine gun. If you missed that joke, he is on to the next joke. I mean, he was just one of the great. And as far as being just a decent human being, I don't think you've ever heard anybody say anything bad about Gilbert Gottfried.
No.
He was the nicest guy in the world. He took pictures with us. I know that there was an incident in the elevator. Not really an incident. But
is that Marty?
With Marty, and Marty's a listener to the show. He's a listener to the radio station. But Marty just happened to be coming up because he was winning a prize or whatever. Marty rides in on his bike. Marty's pretty wound up,
He's always wound up.
He's Marty. And he gets in the elevator, and Gilbert Gottfried gets on with him. And I wanted to say, what was his line to him? Weren't you the guy in Aladdin?
What was the name of the parrot in Aladdin?
Iago was his name.
Iago?
Yeah.
Okay, so the way Marty said, it's Gilbert Gottfried, right? Started career and all that. And Marty, loses his ass. Like, oh, man, you're Gilbert Gottfried. He goes, yeah. I loved you as,
Iago, yeah.
I loved you as Iago. Gilbert just looks at him for a second, and this is his response. Okay.
All right. Okay. So we're going to go back in time today and play the interview with Gilbert from the last time that he was in studio. But yeah, it's been a tough year for comedians, and you see the tributes out there, and you realize all the people that have passed on in that world this year, and unfortunately, he did as well. So we'll do that for you in place of Sit and Spin. And today our question. Oh, by the way, we will go to the Odyssey app once again today.
Yes, we will.
Yeah, we will. We'll do a little Men's Room Happy Hour. Hopefully, you've checked it out. If you don't have the Odyssey app, download it now. It's absolutely free. And then search for the Men's Room Happy Hour channel. That channel only goes live at 6, Monday through Friday. It is a little bit more men's room for you. We also don't follow the same rules that we do on these airwaves. So keep in mind the language is a lot more colorful.
Sure.
The topic matter is as well. So we encourage you not to listen with your kids in the car. But if you haven't checked it out, check out the Men's Room Happy Hour exclusively on the Odyssey app. And today we're going to talk about food. Now, there's all kinds of interpretations of food, we do have a list of, we always say, like, if you go to another country, man, there's some really weird stuff.
Sure.
If you go to Thailand, there might be, bug vendors that have bugs and woks. You get them basically like a little bag of bugs.
Yeah, like scorpions on a stick.
Like popcorn. There's all kinds of weird stuff where people travel and they go, oh, man. And my daughter loved those worms. They're crunchy and delicious. She said they were kind of
Where
like
was she? Was she Thailand?
Yeah, Thailand.
And everybody deep fried worms.
The restaurant scene is not real big in certain areas, there.
Right?
So people tend to go to the open air markets where you can get a lot more food.
Mm-hmm.
And that was one of the things. It was like not one vendor, but like 10.
Okay.
So this was like elephant ears at the Washington State Fair. I mean, there's a few locations where you can get these bugs. So she'd send me pictures of the bugs that she was eating. And I just thought to myself, I'm glad this is you.
Right.
But she thought they were delicious. Like 2 or 3 friends were like, these are actually pretty good.
Yeah, a lot of food is just a matter of the culture.
Absolutely,
right.
Man.
But also,
what you perceive to be gross.
But anything with a shell, I've never not liked.
Well, I was going to say, but that's the other funny thing, right? What's our favorite thing is bugs that come out of the ocean.
Right.
You look at a crab, you're like, all right, it's a big water spider, but goddamn, it's delicious.
But
Crab, shrimp.
Mm-hmm. We have a list of what people from other countries think when they come to America, as far as just bizarre foods to them in their minds. Like,
sure,
this is definitely something way different. So we'll bring that to you. And then we do have a list of the most expensive foods on the planet.
Yeah,
and
that
Mike,
donkey cheese.
Mike, you brought one up yesterday. It was the gold wings.
Oh yeah, there's a restaurant in Alabama that is serving 24-karat gold chicken wings.
And you said it was like $150
for a it's $200 to get a set of 12, and you get fries and a drink with it as well.
All right. And they had the one.
I like that. You also get fries and a drink.
One wing option as well, I guess.
One will cost you $20.
$20. Okay.
That's just stupid. Like, that's not even weird to me. I'm like, that's just a waste of money. Because in the end, they taste like wings. Yeah. But you just plated them with gold. So why wouldn't I just get regular wings for a lot less money?
All right. So number one, I'm not going to buy them because I think
Correct.
it's ridiculous. But number two is when they're covered in that gold. I'm sorry, because there's been restaurants in New York that have done it. Like,
sure.
You can't tell the doneness of the wing.
Ooh, that's a good point.
Generally you can see if the skin is crispy or whatever. I'm like, I have no idea what this wing's going to taste like.
Right.
And they say, and on the list of the most expensive food in the world is basically food that incorporates gold into it in one form or fashion.
Sure. I mean,
they do it with a lot of different things. It's not just wings. It's all kinds of crap. But either way, that's one of the most expensive.
I was just saying, some of the most expensive fancy stuff I don't even know that people would like sea urchin and that kind of stuff.
Per pound. What is the most expensive food on this planet? It's
per pound?
Per pound. That is not a bad guess.
I would guess saffron.
Saffron is the correct answer.
Oh.
Yeah. We had... I like saffron. You need a lot of it to kind of get its taste, but anyway.
You need a lot of it or a little bit of it?
I think you need a lot for the taste to really break through, right? But we get them, it's like in the size of like an Altoids tin, right? And we got some, but one of the restaurants, seafood restaurant, was part of whatever special we're doing. And I mean, you realize what saffron is, right? It's like a little...
They look like hairs. Kind of.
Yeah, it's that part of the flower. You know what I mean? Like when you look at a flower, there's like those little hair-looking
in the middle thing.
Yeah, and I can't remember what those are called, but anyway, that's what saffron is, right? So we get this little tin. I don't remember whatever the chef spent on this when he ordered it, but one of the guys, he's like sprinkling it on whatever the hell we're serving it with. But like 2 of these little things, and they're like eyelashes, right? They like float down to the cutting board, and the chef lost his ass, man. You need to grab that. Just the cost. And we're like, hey, those 2 little things. He was like, dude. Is like one of those is probably worth like $5, right? So if you drop 2 of these eyelash-sized things, it's like $10. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. I like saffron. I don't like it that much.
Wow. Yeah. So our question today, what's the most exotic or trashiest food that you eat or have eaten? We start with a story. Food technology company Primeval Foods. They plan to launch an entire line of exotic meats that did not actually come from animals, including lion burgers, tiger nuggets, giraffe ham.
Why do you think they selected nuggets for the tiger? You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're going to have a lion burger, I go, okay, that makes sense. But why not a tiger burger?
Well, as the meat alternative market becomes increasingly competitive, the story goes, food tech companies are coming up with new and ingenious ways of making their products stand out. So no animals are actually hurt in the process of growing these exotic meats in a laboratory, as they are actually grown from cultured cells. Simple idea of consuming lion or tiger is a little weird for most people. But that's because they're not the kind of meat they're used to eating.
Right.
But Primeval Foods considers this an opportunity worth investing in to see if you might like it. The reason we consume traditional species like beef and chicken today is not they are the tastiest, healthiest, or most nutritious. It's because they are the easiest to domesticate.
Sure.
Since cultivated meat's allowed to go beyond domesticated species. Now we can explore the tastiest, healthiest, and most nutritious options. So they say the cultivated exotic meat consumption might lead humanity to a new evolution for our brain and gut microorganisms, whatever the hell they are.
Probiotic?
Yeah, because of the unique protein and amino acid profile without the downside of cholesterol and saturated fats. We're envisioning a future where we consume cultivated jaguar to have better sleep or mood, or cultivated elephant meat to improve our cognitive performance. This is just the tip of the iceberg.
Are they saying that if you eat elephant meat, it improves your cognitive performance? Or are they speculating that it might?
I don't know. It's like if you eat giraffe meat, is your neck going to grow like Machine Gun Kelly?
Yeah, right.
Who knows? But they're betting on the fact that most people are always eager to try and experiment with new things, including new culinary experiences. I would be willing to try it.
I'd give it a try. Why
Sure,
not, man?
just to see what it tastes like. If it's even remotely close.
I might like tiger nuggets.
It might be like K-Rabby.
It might be, but here's the thing. You
might be
can tell
close.
the difference because we also eat crab. I've never had tiger or lion or giraffe to go like, this doesn't taste like authentic tiger.
That's a good point.
So whatever they put out, like for the most part, I'll be like, okay, this is what tiger tastes like.
Right, an imitation crab meat's not crab.
Mm-hmm. That's why they spell it with a K.
It is.
And then there are times where you have...
I mean, trust me, we still had that stuff when I was a kid. But even as a kid, for some reason, I never ate it.
Really?
Yeah.
I liked it as a kid, then as an adult, I'm like, what am I eating? I don't know.
Kids just get stuck on one thing.
Oh, yeah.
My parents just could never explain what it was.
Isn't it just like fish or something they kind of smash together?
Yeah, it's like, I know that now.
Right.
But also, like, somebody I knew sat next to somebody on a plane that, like, caught those fish. She was like, I wouldn't eat that stuff. But as a kid, I just remember, like, sometimes during the week we'd have it. I was just like, well, what is it? And they're like, we don't know. Just try
eat it.
Yeah, so then I just convinced myself it was some weird meat like snake. And I was like, I'm never eating that stuff.
Okay. That's where your mind
I want to say a week or two
Why
ago.
would they tell us?
I think some Hollywood actress, attractive, went on TikTok and she was explaining this crazy thing that she likes to eat. It was like pizza toast or...
It was the same thing you did when you were 8.
Correct. You took a piece of white bread. Hopefully it was not wheat bread. But that's what we had.
Bread.
We had wheat bread that was in the house. This made it 10 times worse. You basically just spread some spaghetti sauce on top, and then you cover that in Parmesan cheese. If you're lucky, maybe you have some pepperoni in the home.
Never had that, but we had a slice of crab singles.
That was the other option.
Yep.
So, and that was pizza. And that was the snack we would have
all the time.
Yeah, especially like post school.
Oh, God.
If you had especially if you had a muffin. I don't know what, muffin pizzas to me were like top of the line.
Muffin pizza. What do you mean, like an actual muffin?
No, same thing. You take an English muffin.
Oh, an
put
English
spaghetti sauce on it, a slice of American cheese.
Okay.
You got a muffin pizza.
Or in a bagel as well. That's where bagel bites come from, as far as the
But this chick
frozen
thought
pizza
that
snack.
she was like innovative. I'm like, everybody did that at some point in their childhood, man. I mean, it's just, you could do it yourself. Your parents didn't have to be bothered, right?
But would you do it now?
What have I been doing earlier in the evening? Yeah, the answer is yes.
You would do it now.
You know what?
I have to have everything in the house, but yeah, like if it's like I get home, it's 11:30 midnight, I'm like kind of hungry. Like I got muffins, I got American cheese.
Do you have a toaster oven? Or you put it in the oven?
I have a toaster oven.
Okay.
I mean, I'll do it in a pinch, but I'll do it like we usually have like flour tortillas in the house.
Now, how is that?
It's fine. I mean, basically, it's just a super thin crust pizza. You know, the tortilla itself has no flavor. It's not a corn one, it's flour, right? So there's no flavor to that. Whatever red sauce, the cheese, usually I have pepperoni. It's actually pretty decent. It's quick. It's easy. The kids dig it, right? You know what I mean? That goes a long way.
The one I hated the most that my mom pushed on us as far as having breakfast was peanut butter on a rice cake.
Oh, come on.
And she would buy rice cakes that came in those tubes, you know? There's, I don't know, 10, 12 of them in there. If you're hungry, you just put some peanut butter on a rice cake.
No.
There's a reason, like, I don't like those corn puff cereals.
Yeah.
And rice cakes kind of have a very similar kind of just blandness. It's almost like you really are...
It's styrofoam, man.
You're biting
it's
into
edible styrofoam.
But that was... I will never eat that again. I will never, because of that experience in my life, I will never eat a rice cake in any form or fashion. I can't even believe it was considered food at the time.
I mean, it was the only really like... Because there was just chips. Like now you can get like a baked chip or the fake, like Cheetos that are made out of peas. But back then, every time somebody was trying to be healthy, that was like what they ate.
Yeah, it's like tofu. It's like, I understand it's edible, but I don't necessarily know that I would call it food.
Right.
Yeah, like Quaker now makes like a bag of like ranch, little tiny rice rice.
Right. That helps.
Like those are great.
Have you eaten? I know we both took home some Spam.
Correct.
Did you open it up yet?
I have not.
I have to look at that can for at least 6 months before my brain starts working on, maybe I'll eat this at some point. For whatever reason.
Last time I was at a hockey game, they were like, I got a Spam musubi. It's delicious.
Yeah. Spam what?
Musubi?
What is that?
It's that little, it looks like sushi, right? It's like a square of sticky rice, and then it's just got a piece of Spam on it, and then it's wrapped in the, the nori.
Well, that actually sounds pretty good.
No, I'm done.
You've had them. I brought them in for meat and potatoes one day.
Oh, that's right. It was fantastic. I totally forgot about that. Well, you know us, man. We can't remember everything.
It's like Thrills League. That sounds awful. I'm like, dude, you had it.
Did I like it?
I don't think you hated it.
Okay.
Miles, I know you liked it.
I just think anytime you put lunch meat in a pan, you've reached a new level of life.
Sure.
And it's back to where you started. So even if you make bologna in a pan and you know how to fillet it so that it doesn't curl up, so that it gets crispy.
Sure. It's not worth it to me. It's not worth it.
When you have it, you're reminded why you don't have it all the time, but it is not the worst thing in the world.
It's not the worst thing in the world, but if I'm going to heat up a pan, if I'm going to put any effort into actually heating something up, bologna is not going to be the thing.
If you are dating someone and you wanted to meet up for lunch at your place and that's what you made.
What, fried bologna?
Fried bologna sandwiches on white bread.
I assume I'm not getting laid.
Well, it's lunch.
That's my subtle way of saying I don't want to date you.
And a can of soup.
I was going to say, as a teenager, I thought frying ham and then putting on bread, I was like, I'm a genius.
This is amazing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like, look, drunk meal still, a piece of salami ends up in a frying pan once in a while.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Salami, all right. Bologna, I'm like, no. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm not going to cook this bologna.
It's not like it is somewhat.
Even I'll eat a hot dog.
It's basically what you ate when you were growing up.
Sure.
Depending on where you lived, depending on the food you had in the refrigerator, depending on what was standard fare in your home, there was always something. Whether it was a package of ramen noodles, which we all know they don't suck.
Yeah,
just be hard pressed to go and make them right now.
Yeah,
that's all.
That's it.
Gilio's pizza.
Oh man,
I got a Party's pizza the other night. Party pizza,
nice.
Oh god, it was so good, so terrible. What's the most exotic or the trashiest food that you eat or have eaten? 206-421-ROCK.
99.9 KISW. The shenanigans continue. This is the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill.
What is the most exotic or trashiest food that you eat or have eaten? 206-421-ROCK.
Hello, Rudy. Welcome to the Men's Room.
Hola.
Hola.
What's going on, guys?
I'll do the thing, Rudy. How are you?
Pretty good.
Well, it's good to hear, man. Last time we talked to you, you were really down in the dumps, and I'm just glad you turned your life around.
Yeah, things have gotten a little better.
Good. So what's the most exotic or trashiest food that you eat or have eaten?
So it's actually goat blood tacos.
Explain to me how this works. Do you just drip goat blood onto a shell? Is it coagulated? What?
I assume it's coagulated. I'm not exactly sure. When I went there, it was in the middle of Mexico, and it was like some distant family, and they had a pig in the ground, but it wasn't going to be ready. So they said, hey, we got goat blood tacos ready to go. And didn't really want to try it, but my dad made me.
How old were you?
I was 14.
Okay. What did you think at the time?
Well, I mean, I honestly thought I was going to throw up, but when you eat it, it's actually not too bad.
Okay, all right.
Not too, what does it taste like? I mean, is it seasoned or what?
Yeah, it's seasoned. It's almost like you're eating garlicky Jell-O in a way.
All right.
Yeah.
Typically, as a kid, you're not the most adventurous eater. I mean, there's exceptions to those rules.
There are, but when you say goat blood taco, I don't care who you are, most people are going to be like, I'll wait for the pig in the ground.
Mm-hmm. I guess you're using the whole animal, one way or another.
There's a lot of blood and a lot of, what's the puddings or whatever?
The blood puddings.
Sausages.
Absolutely. Blood, apparently in Europe, I read something like last week about this, but they're like, all these different recipes you can make with blood. Animal blood, it should be noted, but like almost every recipe came out of Europe, man. And some of it really didn't look bad. The problem is once you know what it is, you just get it in your head.
But it's got to be cooked all the way through, correct?
I would imagine most
of
the things I saw, like he said, because I'm just looking at the pictures that they had in this article, but it looks like you said, kind of like pudding-y, which in the end, I mean, that's what pudding is.
I'm not sure if that's
blood.
Exotic or trashy.
You know what? Well, it depends, right? I guess in the middle of Mexico, the problem is just trashy. It's a goat blood taco, right? We just eat them all the time. Whatever. Kids come home from school, can I have a goat blood taco? Say, of course you can make it yourself. To us, it probably seems rather exotic, right?
What is the most exotic or trashiest food that you eat or have eaten? 206-421-ROCK.
Hello, Sky. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola.
I tried a dog once.
Tell me it was like at a restaurant, not just the neighbors.
No, it was. I went to Vietnam 25 years ago when I was about 18, and we went. I wanted to try it, so I made my friends take me to the restaurant that served it, and we got some to go.
How
you got dog to go?
How was it served?
Did they give it to you in a doggy bag?
No. Well, I don't remember. It might have been in a bag, but no. They gave me you got like a sample of all the different parts. There was like a leg, there was some ribs, and then there was like some sausages in there.
And what did you go for, or did you get all of them?
I tried. Well, it was I had all three things in the to go platter.
Which was in your mind? Which was the best?
Oh well, by far the ribs were the best.
Really?
Yeah, the ribs are the most tenderest meat I ever had.
Huh.
But,
all right.
But the other part, the leg piece, that was kind of stringy and dry, and the sausage, I could barely choke that down.
Really? Did it taste bad, or you didn't like the consistency?
Well, the consistency, and it kind of like reminded me of a dog turd. So
Okay. Well, if I'm picturing a dog turd when I eat, probably not something I want. That's just my general rule.
That's kind of funny. Generally, I feel like with different meats, sausage is the easiest way to eat them.
That's almost what I think all the time. But you're saying in the case that you're eating dog, go for the ribs that are that tender. Do you know the breed of dog? Was it a chow?
I don't know. It was just at a restaurant in some part of Vietnam in the Ho Chi Minh City that had the neighborhood just had like smoked stuff, like ducks and all that kind of stuff you see like at in Chinatown, all that kind of different kind of stuff. It was kind of like a deli.
What were you and your friends doing there at that age?
Oh, well, my friend was Vietnamese, so he just wanted to ask me if I wanted to go to Vietnam to meet his stepsister or something.
Okay.
I'm in, buddy.
All right, yeah, why not?
So let me ask you, if you went back to Vietnam now, would you order dog again? Like, would you order dog ribs?
Nah.
No?
Are they served with a barbecue sauce, or are they just served as is?
They're just served, like whatever kind of spices, that they slow cooked it with.
All right.
Okay. I mean, I guess I would try it if I'm there. Years ago, I was working at a restaurant, and it's a 2-level building, all right? So we're on the top floor. Below us was a Vietnamese restaurant, and they'd been there the whole time, whatever. So one of the waitresses that worked with us, she was off that day, but she rolled in to grab her paycheck, and she walked up there with her dog, big-ass dog. And she tied it up outside, runs into the restaurant, starts having a conversation with some of the coworkers. Some of the other coworkers untie her dog and just take it around back of the restaurant. So she walks outside. She can't find her dog. She's freaking out. So one of the cooks goes, "Oh, God, that was your dog?" She's like, "Yeah, what happened?" She goes, "I don't know, man. The guys from the Vietnamese restaurant, they untied it, took it downstairs." And I mean, she instantly freaks out, goes down there, and lights these guys up. She's screaming, "Oh, yeah." And they're like, "What are you talking about, man?" She's like, "You took my effing dog. You're going to cook him." They're like, "Dude, we do not serve dog in this restaurant. Right? It's not cool in the States." So finally, we had to go down there and tell her, "Hey, man, they didn't take your dog. It's out back. Your dog's fine." She was so pissed off at us, man. She was she made a scene. They're just like, "What are you talking about? We didn't take your dog."
What's the most exotic or trashiest food that you eat or have eaten? 206-421-ROCK.
Hello, Jacob. Welcome to the men's room.
Tacos, tequila, and tatas, bitches.
Hola. Hola.
So when my wife and I went on our honeymoon to Mexico, we went to Cancun. They had a French restaurant there, and I tried escargot.
And what'd you think?
It tasted like basically a rubbery dirt booger. Yep.
So it wasn't good to you.
Rubbery dirt booger.
I've had it one time in my life, and I still think it's probably, and not that it's exotic, it's a snail. But at the time when I was eating, I was like, this is one of the most exotic things I've eaten.
It is. I mean, if it's not something you normally eat, well, yeah, they certainly charge you, because you are thinking like, it's a snail. This snail cost a whole lot. Ours just tasted like garlic. When I got it out of my head what it was.
Garlic butter.
Yeah, basically it tastes like garlic butter. It was good, but yours was not good at all.
No, it was an all-inclusive resort, too, so luckily I didn't have to pay for it.
Okay.
I ordered a couple margaritas afterwards and drowned it out.
Okay.
I mean, ours wasn't an all-inclusive resort, but we didn't pay for it either.
And that is correct. That's why we got
That's why we ordered it.
And it's not always on the menu. It's one of those, it might be on for a little while, or they take it off.
I don't know if there's a seasonal thing. Like, I remember hearing about it growing up. Biggie had a line, escargot, my cargo. I'm like, all right, it's there.
You want to try it. It sounds like a rich person food, right? And we tried it, and it was fine.
Even the utensil they give you is something that I've never had in my hand before.
Yeah, because I've never eaten anything like that. Right. I remember the first time I tried caviar, right? Because, again, you hear about it growing up, must be super rich, and right at lunch somewhere. And the woman that was with us, she ordered something that had caviar on it. She takes a little spoonful, puts it on my plate, says, try it. I'm like, sure, because it looks really good, right? If you're a kid and it's all colorful and all this, I was like, no, thank you.
To me, it looks like fish bait.
It was bad. It's just like salty. It's salty at first, and then it just turns to a nightmare in your mouth. I'm like, I don't ever need to eat this again.
Yeah, I've had it before on like a potato, like pancake.
Yeah.
Right, so like that was okay. It kind of added saltiness.
Sure. Yeah, I would not recommend just popping a mouthful of caviar into it. It's gross, man.
What exotic or trashiest food did you eat or have eaten? 206-421-ROCK.
A lot of exotic foods. I thought we'd have more trashy stuff.
Oh, we got a few. It depends on your perspective. So some of the comments that come in, it says, everyone thinks I'm weird. I love eating fish eyes. I don't think you're weird. I think you're disgusting. Someone else says, the most exotic thing I've eaten is rattlesnake. Yes, it's like a funky, greasy chicken. But the trashiest thing was cold fries and nuggets out of the McDonald's dumpster.
Oh,
wow, man. Someone here, exotic
That's
food.
literally trashy.
I mean, like you're eating their trash.
You're in the can.
Yeah, I was thinking more like tater tot casserole.
That's on the list.
All right.
How about, would you try pickled duck tongue?
I'm not a big fan of tongue in the consistency, but I don't know. I feel like all tongues are the same. So when you look like an orca, their tongue looks the same. It's the same.
Tongues are universally, they kind of, does a duck tongue look the same?
Well, they're black probably, right? It seems like most geese have black tongues.
I don't know. I just think about them having beaks and bills.
That's what I mean. I don't think much about it. I would try.
And it's pickled.
That helps.
Yeah.
When you pickle anything, almost anything, I think it generally tastes better. Someone says, stationed in Alaska for the Army, my father killed and ate an otter. Said it was very tangy and left his mouth with almost an electric buzzing feeling.
Ugh.
An otter, huh? Somebody here in Mexico had tostadas sandwiches with sliced eyeballs. Says it tastes like gelatin.
No thanks.
I don't really like eyeballs.
The people that like eyeballs love eyeballs, man. And to be fair, I've never tried an eyeball.
Balls to me are not food. Rocky Mountain oysters, eyeballs. Meatballs, yes.
So if you have to shape it yourself,
if you make
it's
it on
a food,
but
right?
If
it shows up round,
no thanks. What's the most exotic or trashiest food that you eat or have eaten? 206-421-ROCK.
Hello, Mike. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola. Before I get started in my story, I just got to make one quick comment about the bologna. You were eating the wrong bologna. You got to eat the German bologna fried with a fried egg. It is the bomb.
What kind of bologna?
German
bologna. You get it at the meat markets, and you got to slice it yourself. It comes in these huge loaves, and it's really good.
Okay. Wonder what the thing is that with Mexican bologna, where it's always being smuggled into the United States.
Yeah, what is it with that?
What the difference is between that and what we have here. Because when they get busted coming back with it, it's normally 20 tubes, 50 tubes. There's obviously a market for it because you're not going to eat it all on your own.
Yeah, I just wonder, like, who would know that, hey, man, I got Mexican bologna?
What's the difference between, oh, man, you haven't had bologna until you've had Mexican bologna? I don't understand why it's a smuggling level product, but yeah.
Yeah. But the story, the most disgusting thing I ever ate was a tequila night. It was on my brother's 30th birthday. We just moved back from Hawaii, and you know, cockroaches over there are a lot different than here. It's like comparing a Great Dane and a Yorkie pup, you know. They're extremely big. Anytime you open anything over in Hawaii, you got to close it up with a plastic container because cockroaches are everywhere. You can't get rid of them. And so we were having a conversation about that because my brother's girlfriend had cockroaches in her house and she was mortified by them. And I don't know how it got started, but I started drinking some tequila and we were drinking Patron, and I started doing Patron shots with cockroaches in them.
How was it?
It wasn't bad.
Were they alive or were they deceased?
But it wasn't that bad.
I mean, were they prepared at all, or you just had a dead cockroach?
No, we were picking them off the table and out of the cupboards. They were just plopping them out. We would catch them, and they were throwing them in my shots, and I was drinking them.
All right. Well, that's exotic as hell.
Is that exotic or is that trashy? I'm going to qualify that. I know it's drunk. I'm going to say that qualifies as trashy. I mean, it'd be one thing if dude cooked them and said, it turns out, man, you add a little butter, a little salt. He's like, nah, you just throw them alive in a shot of Patron.
What's the most exotic or trashiest food that you eat or have eaten? 206-421-ROCK.
Yeah, you're right. That's 100% trashy.
Like, that's just trashy.
Right. You're just hammered and doing a party trick at that point.
Mm-hmm. How about mayonnaise popsicle? It says mayonnaise popsicles.
Got one.
It's got to...
Go sit down.
New euphemisms. Says mayonnaise popsicles. It's got to be Duke's mayo. You take a spoon of that, you freeze it. The guy says, I'm a chef. I can't get away from this trashy effing thing that I've eaten since childhood.
You take just a spoonful of mayonnaise.
Take a spoon of Duke's mayonnaise. Yeah. Says freeze it. That is the recipe.
Then eat it.
And then just lick it off.
I guess, yeah. How about this one? Hot dog soup. Anyone know how to make hot dog soup?
Is it hot dogs and broth?
What is the broth? It depends on the hot dog. Beef broth for beef franks?
Oh, no, your broth. You have it all wrong. According to this dude, hot dog soup says don't have buns. Cut the hot dogs up, put it in a bowl with ketchup, mustard, relish, water, microwave it.
Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, God.
Right, that's so bad, man.
Oh, God. Oh, man. This is when you go back and you start thinking about what your guidance counselor told you.
Right.
Oh, no.
He was right.
Look where I am now.
Well, in theory, if you put ketchup, mustard, and relish on your hot dog...
Right.
The water. Right. Yeah.
I know,
You're
man.
You're going to get the hot dog juice in the water?
God. Yeah, hot dog soup.
I'll tell you, I never thought anything was trashier than when you had to eat a hot dog at home off a piece of bread.
Dude, that sucked. And again, growing up, my parents only got wheat bread. And it didn't matter how much we protested. And I get it. They're like, so when you had a hot dog and, like, you're kind of in a hurry, you're getting on your mother's nerves, you know what I mean? But she knows she has to feed you. Like, the hot dog itself went into the microwave.
It did. It blew out on both sides like party favor.
100%.
And they put that nasty-looking, messed up, irradiated hot dog on a piece of wheat bread. I'm like, are you mad at me or what the hell, man?
Dude, I mean, we used to do it all the time. The same thing, right? You just put it in a paper towel, throw it in the microwave, pop it on a piece of bread.
Wait for it to explode.
Yeah.
When's the last time you had a microwave hot dog?
I mean since I was
40 years.
Since I've been growing up.
Yeah, that's it.
Once you realized there was other ways you could do it, the microwave hot dog was over.
That's a damn good question. I don't know.
Seriously, when's the last time you put a hot dog in the microwave and made it for yourself?
It's been years.
Right.
Also, when we were growing up, hot dogs aren't what they are now. We couldn't get Nathan's hot dogs.
Oh, no. You had
Oscar Mayer
or...
Nathan's. Right. Ballpark Franks were as high end as you could be. There was no Hebrew National.
Not yet.
And we got the cheapest hot dogs that money could buy in my house.
We always got Oscar Mayer. I don't know where they fit, but...
You know the bigger packs that are over... The hot dogs are overly pink?
Oh, God, yeah.
They're almost too pink?
Because they dyed them.
Yeah.
That was weird. Did you ever have that white hot dogs? When I was real little, and my dad, I don't know why, he kind of likes all things English. The cars, his sauces, mustards, all this. That's just kind of his thing, which is crazy because nobody likes English food, including English people. But he would get these weird-ass hot dogs, and if you boiled them, all of the dye that they put on, the super pink one, seriously, man. So you would know as kids, and I'm probably 5 or 6 at this time, but we knew the hot dogs were done when you looked into the water, and the water was pink. And then when you pulled the hot dog out, it was white. Right? So, again, it's like...
White wiener.
Yeah, dude, we never really understood why that happened, because when we go to our friends' houses, like if their parents hooked up hot dogs, like, it looked like a hot dog when they started, it looked like a hot dog when it's done. Friends come to our house, you'd offer them a hot dog, they're like, no thanks, because they do, man. They come out of this weird pink water, and you have this white-ass hot dog on wheat bread.
Can I get another white wiener?
I still struggle with, like, even you ever had like the German, like the white Weiss or whatever? It's like a white sausage.
I've seen it.
I don't know.
Right. So I never would get it because I'm just like, for some reason, I don't associate
sausage with being white.
Yeah. And just that color white. There's not a ton of food that comes out like that. But then I finally had it like last year and I was like, this is actually delicious.
The only white sausage I like are those chicken breakfast sausages.
Really, man? You do the chicken sausage breakfast.
The apple, chicken, or turkey breakfast sausage?
No. I love chicken sausages. I just don't know that they're fleshier. But
They
white.
are.
They're closer to white than they are anything else.
They're fleshy color.
Closer to white.
All right, just one more thing about the hot dogs. All right, so if we had buns, we'd still cook them in the microwave.
I know.
And then the ends of the buns would be like rocks.
Well, you're not supposed to put the buns in the microwave, too.
But everyone
Tell that to a
learned it the
kid.
hard way.
Oh, yeah.
And you knew it was going to go south, and you would do it anyway. You figured, okay, if I can eat fast enough, right, it won't turn into that weird, rubbery, crusty, nasty-ass, whatever the hell it turns into. You never ate that.
That's one thing about being a kid, though. It wasn't about cooking. It was about the speed of cooking.
Yes, you're right.
So
And it was just about having that thing. Because now as an adult, I'm like, why did I think that was so awesome? Like, because I was an idiot kid. And it's just like, hot dog.
Right.
Who cares that I eat the rolls like a brick?
And the ends are blown out, and it looks weird.
Yeah.
What's the most exotic or trashiest food that you eat or have eaten? 206-421-ROCK.
Hello, Adam. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola! How you guys doing?
Doing great, brother. Thanks, man.
So, back in 2010 when I was in Germany, a couple of buddies of mine were like, hey, let's go check out this little restaurant. Don't know the name of it, but got there, and it was a place that, you cook the meat on the hot bricks.
All right.
I don't know if I do.
I've seen it before. Nothing I've done, but sure.
So, you pretty much you get your meat that you pick, and I picked kangaroo.
All right. How was it?
And it was delicious. Little gamey, but it was delicious.
Now, are they like seasoned at all? And if they are, could you figure out what it? I mean, is it like cumin, salt, and pepper, or what?
I did garlic butter, salt, pepper, and then I obviously didn't know how long to cook it for, so I just went for like a medium rare steak look, but it's a super red, purple meat, so it's kind of hard to judge.
Interesting.
But in the end, you ended up liking it, right?
Oh yeah, I ate the whole thing.
Do they eat a lot of kangaroo like if you're in Australia?
I don't know, but ostrich is native to Australia, right? For the most part?
think so.
'Cause the meat, that ostrich meat, basically, he just described it.
Have you had ostrich?
I have.
Okay. And what did you think?
Unbelievable.
Really?
I thought it was fantastic.
Huh.
I could not believe that I was sitting there going, this is great. I was thinking, I'll try this. I'll just do it. I took a bite, and I was, oh my God.
Was it a steak, a burger? What'd you get?
It was a steak. They used to have it down at El Gaucho.
Oh, that's right. I never got one, but yeah, I do remember that on the menu.
Yeah, and I'm with you. Generally, if it's wild game, like, what was it? Ed's Courthouse? They were always kind of famous because they had like wild game.
Up on Finney, maybe?
Yeah, and it was like cool. Like, oh man, I'm going to try something crazy.
What is the most exotic or trashiest food that you eat or have eaten? 206-421-ROCK.